All right, everybody, I'm home. Wig is off. You see my kids, we give them a playroom. It is trashed out. Look at these kids. Terrible. I got turtle chairs, one on each side, because we got a turtle. And there's the bike that I don't use, but I'm supposed to use. Anyway, I got some alone time, so I'm taking this opportunity to do a video which reflects how I feel. I am suffering with chronic fatigue. It is a byproduct of the weight loss surgery. But it's if you had problems with iron before, it just kind of gets exasperated. So I've always had a problem with iron. And my low iron is messing with my white blood cells. So I have low white blood cells, which leads to this fatigue. Now, everybody said, well, take iron pills, take iron pills. Well, when you cut out 80% of your stomach, the iron pill doesn't have time to really do its thing in the stomach and pretty much just gets run through your body before it could be fully processed. So I've been doing a lot of tests and a lot of poking and prodding with the ultimate goal of starting infusion therapy, like once a week, getting iron put through the veins. So it's a fatigue that I've never really felt before. It's not tired as fact as like, oh, I could just go take a nap and I'll be tired. And it's not even tired like, oh, my brain is tired. It is something totally different. Like, I think if I go to sleep and I sleep 100 hours, I'll still wake up looking like this. And right now I could feel like I could do long division and do all kind of financial transactions and international banking because my brain is not foggy. So like right now I feel the need to make a video, but I feel like I'm like a cell phone with low battery. I will keep, if you don't change, I will just keep running at 100%, using all the power I need to until I turn off. That's exactly how I feel. That's the only analogy. Look at this is my natural. Underneath this all braided. So I have pretty long hair. If a lot of it fell out post surgery, but that's okay. I was wearing wigs before surgery and I'm gonna wear wigs after surgery. And a lot of people ask me, oh, you have such long hair, you have such nice hair. Why do you wear wigs? Because I have two children. And we get up at 5:30 every day, 5:30, 5:45 every day. And I have to leave my house at 7:30. And I never leave my house at 7:30 because I'm always running late. Because we like chickens with our head cut off in this house, getting these kids who are very tired and cranky out the house. So by the time I get them out the house, then I gotta rush and get ready. So putting on a wig takes me about 13 and a half seconds, whereas doing my hair in the morning would take like 30 minutes. It used to take 30 minutes. Like before I had kids, I only needed an hour to get ready, and 30 minutes of it was doing my hair. Even something as simple as combing it up in a bun, because I would have to gel and make sure it was slick and do the baby hairs and get the bun right and whatever. So I have kids and throwing on a wig is perfect. Like actually, I use headband wigs. I used to use U-part wigs, but then you constantly have to keep flat ironing and straightening the leave out part. And that was taking time because my hair is natural, it's unrelaxed. So it required a lot of heat and time to get it to match the fake hair. So uh, I stopped using the U part or V part wigs, and I found headband wigs. So I've been wearing headband wigs for about 3 years now, consistently. Um, People claim it pushes back your hairline, but I had a big forehead, and actually this part got more pushed back, because of the hair loss from the surgery. I always had like a widow's peak, but this really came in. But I was actually looking at shake and go wigs, and if you're an old hoe like me, you know what a shake and go wig is. Are they still $20? I hope they $20 because I used to love me a $20 shake and go wig. Um, you don't expect them to last that long. They call shake and go for a reason. You take them out the packs, you shake them, you put them on, you go. I'm gonna get me one with a bang. I'm gonna get me a bang. A bang. I'm gonna get me a bang one, okay? This was like an introduction for me to say that I'm tired of being the strong one. And I'm more specifically talking with my families because my friend circle is very small, damn near non-existent. So I'm talking about my family and being the strong one. I come to the realization that being strong doesn't exist. It's not real. It is a costume that people put on. Unless you have some kind of mental different way of thinking, or you're on the spectrum. I'm not counting any of that. But if you're quote unquote normal, the whole concept of being strong and unfazed when things happen to you is unrealistic. I've come to realize since my surgery, losing 100 plus pounds, that I am a regular person now. I don't have the mask of extreme weight to hide behind. Now, I'm still fat. My BMI is obese. I am no longer in the morbidly obese category, but I am still obese. I still got a good 50 pounds to go before I go to my goal weight, or 40 pounds to go until I get to my goal weight, and about 100 pounds to go if I do the goal weight of the surgeon. So that's crazy. But even with that weight loss, and it's not small, 100 pounds is not small, but even with that weight loss, and I'm still big, I have realized that I'm a regular person, and I'm starting to notice that people are treating me like a regular person now. And I'll go on to explain what I mean by that. I'm going to talk in the lens of somebody who is fat, black, and a woman in America. Being strong and having this superhero outfit on of being fat is kind of like the mammy complex, the Lizzo complex, where we always have to project confidence and being strong and to be open to be of use to others. So that's what I talk about being the mammy. The mammy was the caretaker. She raised the slave owner's children. She took care of the house. She was in charge of everything. She was the caretaker. And please don't be mistaken. The slave owners talked to their mammies, and so did the wives. Everybody confined and talked to the mammies. The mammies were the foundation of the big house. Okay, they kept that house in order. And that trope has just continued into modern civilization, where non-white people, white Americans with their history in America, not necessarily immigrants, but the descendants of slave masters, kind of feel comfort in a mammy type person. And I think this is why Lizzo is so popular with white people. Now, she's popular with black people, but her fan base If you look at the people in her audience at her concerts, they're white. Um, uh, Example, when I was a early teen, my mom would send me to sleepaway camps, and one of the camps, I came back with a nickname. I came back with the nickname of Mother Love. If you don't know who Mother Love is, do a quick Google search on her. She was a mammy. She had a talk show where she would help people. People would talk to her. She was Dr. Phil before there was Dr. Phil, in the mammy, big, fat, black woman aesthetic that was comforting and easily approachable by white people. So they would call me Mother Love. And I don't think they called me Mother Love because I was black and I was fat. These were white children. This was a predominantly white sleepaway camp. But something about me, or the way I looked, gave them comfort that all of these white kids would talk to me and tell me their problems. Now, I'm an inner city girl from Brooklyn. These kids live in Long Island. They live in Long Island, or the wealthy area codes of Queens. And I couldn't relate to their stories. Like I said, I'm not an empath, but I am a perfect sounding board for people to talk to. Lend me your ears. I would listen to their stories. I was comforting. I gave them solace. I quickly got the name Mother Love, and it was something that my mother gleed on, and it's something I hated. And I hated the name not because of who Mother Love is. I hated the name because the treatment that I gave them was not reciprocated. Nobody ever asked me what I was going through. If I needed somebody to talk to, I was just there for them. And I feel like a lot of people who are in my circumstances, who have now grown up and are adults, have analyzed the people around them and realized that what they give out is not what they get back in. And I think that's because when you're fat and black, now I didn't say ugly, because those two are mutually exclusive. You could be fat and black, you could be fat and black and ugly, and you could be fat and black and cute. Let's not get it twisted. Lizzo's face card is never denied. That is a beautiful woman. Okay? Her looks have nothing to do with her weight. Lizzo's looks have nothing to do with her weight. So, being fat and black, and I'm not talking about your looks, but maybe your physical aesthetic, because you're seen as a undesirable, sexually undesirable, what have you, gives people the unintentional comfort to use you. That you were pretty much here for them. And I think I've always known this, that the relationships I have with people, it's not a give and take. It's a give and take. I'm sorry. It's a give and take. I've never been in a give relationship with somebody, and maybe you're not supposed to. Maybe one person's supposed to be a giver and another person is supposed to be a taker. I don't know. I just know now that I've lost the weight, I'm starting to walk in the shoes of two different types of black female, and I'm realizing the stark differences. So I've never had a problem with using PTO or sick days, right? I've never gotten denied. If, I've never gotten pushback if I was sick or whatever. But I did notice a snarkiness when I came back to work, and maybe even a condescending tone and borderline HR violation questioning when I returned to work as a fat person. And now when I take sick days, the questioning is that of concern. So I have to say, I have taken more sick days with this weight loss than I did being fat, or when I did being pregnant, because I used to drag my sick ass to work. I'm not saying that I'm less sick. No. I would feel compelled to drag my sick ass to work because of the attitude I would get when I returned. It was just a put off for me. And now I'm more comfortable with staying home because I'm sick. And sick days are not limited to physical illness. Like I said, I've always been transparent about my mental health because I don't see it as something to be embarrassed about. I never see people who have diabetes saying they're embarrassed about diabetes, and I've never seen somebody who said they have high blood pressure ashamed to say they have high blood pressure. So I've always, not always, but I'm trying to take off the negative stigma that mental health has. So I've always been transparent about my mental health. I have anxiety disorder. I haven't been diagnosed with depression because it's not chronic, but I do get depressed. I think everybody gets depressed. There's just levels to depression, especially if you're a woman of menstruating age. Your hormones being out of whack is going to knock you into depression. And I suffer from intrusive thoughts and anxiety, right? Did I say anxiety? And intrusive thoughts. So there are days when I am not recently, since I've really taken the reins on it, where I was crippled in my anxiety. Like I was crippled to the fact that if fire broke out in this house, I couldn't move. Or even suffering from endometriosis and PCOS. Those periods are painful. And then recently I saw somewhere where it says menstrual pains or period pains or PMS pains are on the same level as a heart attack. So I used to drag myself to work. I was popping Tylenol so much that I was fucking up my liver. And then I switched to uncoated aspirin. You know what kind of G you gotta be and what kind of bleeding and damage you're doing to your stomach by taking an uncoated aspirin. And the reason why it had to be uncoated for me is because I needed it to work right away. I didn't have time for my stomach to take the coating off. I needed instant into the bloodstream. That was old me. That was the fat me. And that's how I used to go to work. I'm not doing that anymore. And did I realize my self-worth because I lost the weight? No. No, because I always thought highly of myself. I still do. I feel like I'm not getting the shadiness and the pushback when I do return to work after taking a sick day, which goes to show me that this society still sees value in your size. Like, I totally believe a lot of people get passed over because of the way they look. And I hate the fact that we still have to do interviewing face to face. I think we should interview. I don't think we need to interview face to face. Just like I don't think there should be a name on an application, but not even a name on an application, because taking some classes, you don't have to put your real name on your resume. You don't have to put your real name on anything unless you get hired. Then you fill out the official documents where you got to put your social, or if you need to get fingerprint clearance, you put your real information. But if your name is Buttigieg, you could just put Boosh. We have a guy that we hired at my job. He don't use his first name, and he only used the first 3 letters of his middle name. That's how he wants to go. That's what he put on all of his paperwork. Okay, and that's how they board approved him, with the name that he chose to give himself. Because if you could choose your gender, you could choose your name, right? Put the name that you know is going to get a job. Play the game. Play the game. Get the job. Put the name that's going to get the job. And then once they offer you the job and give you that letter, then you go put Buttigieg, Shemuku Johnson Jenkins the third. Put that name on there. Fuck them. Play the game. And then you get in there and you bring all your fucking family in there. And you bring everybody in there and take it over. What was I saying? Oh, the sick day. So, there's a lot of good things that I learned coming out of the household of a single mother. I was raised by a single mother. Single black mother. Single fat black mother. That I adopted into my adult life. And no shade to my mom, but I'm trying to delete all that shit now. My mom had to be strong and independent based on her circumstances, her surroundings, and her lack of community support and lack of family support. So her need to have these characteristics was traits for survival. Now, whether she wanted to be that way, I don't know. I never asked her, but I know it was out of necessity. I have these traits. I know these traits, but my life is not hers. I'm in a different circumstances. One might even say I'm in better circumstances as far as having a full-time partner in my life to take care of my children, help take care of my children. And I realized that I was taking these traits of being this strong single woman. I'm sorry, I'm looking down, guys. I'm just so supposed to look up at the camera like this. But like the fatigue is so bad that it's just easier for me to keep my eyes down. So if it's hard to look at this video, I understand I don't look good. My hair is a mess. So maybe just listen. I hope you stay. So I have these traits of this single black mother, and I was using them in all of the situations and aspects of my life, and they weren't applicable. When I was living by myself and I was single, yes, activate single black mother traits. When I got a partner and we have longevity, we've been married almost 10 years, together even longer than that. I don't need these traits anymore, and these traits have no place right now in my life. They should be dormant. And it takes 2 people to run this household. It takes 2 people to raise children. It takes 2 people to live a life should have been activated. And within the last couple of years, drinking my baby snacks. That's how tired I am. Look, drinking my baby snacks. And because I don't want to have a odd number, because they'll know, I got 2. So, last couple of years since the kids have been born, and I realized that I cannot be a single mother and I cannot do this by myself. Shout out to the single mothers. You will forever be worshipped in my eyes, because I don't know how the fuck y'all do it. I don't know. How do y'all do it and y'all be having 2, 3, 4 babies alone? How? But don't tell me I don't want to know. Don't tell me I don't want to know. If I find myself in that situation, I will fuck Tom, Dick, and Harry getting these kids a new stepdaddy. Fuck the rules about don't be having men around my kid. Every man will be around your kid if you're not around, because I'm not doing this by myself. You see how I got this energy? You will get a stepdaddy. If daddy leaves on Thursday, I need Friday to grieve, Saturday to wash the stank off, Sunday to day of rest, and Monday I'm jumping on the horse, okay? So I'm constantly in a mental struggle. I'm going back, putting the train back on. I'm constantly in a mental struggle fighting to turn that part of my life off and not walk around being a single independent black woman, because I'm not. I have the propensity and the traits to do such. Yes, I'm a survivor. I have that, but I'm not single. I have to stop acting single. No shade to the single people. But if you do find a relationship, look at that. I'm getting the old lines. That's another thing. I don't have the fat to keep me good anymore. I got to be careful in my lines. So I'm going to talk about friendships. So being a fat black woman, I don't know if me being a giver is because of that. But I've noticed even with the weight loss, I'm still a giver. So maybe that was just an inherent trait. And my mom is a giver. So maybe she passed that on to me. Especially with birthdays. For some reason, other people's birthdays are very important to me. And by important, I mean I acknowledge everybody's birthday. I put up a video, and I'll probably put it up here. I'll put it at the end of this video. I have meetings. They're meetings, committee meetings. And I overheard people talking about one of the people in the committee meetings. His birthday is today. So I had about 2 hours to kill before the meeting. I went on YouTube and saw how to make a pop-up birthday card. Made the pop-up birthday card, decorated it, drew it. Now, I don't have crayons or anything at work, but I do have colored highlighters and Sharpies. So, put it together, taped it onto his folder, gave out the folders for my meeting, skipped him, and he was kind of looking at me funny. And he was going to say something like, "Oh, Nicole, do you have one of those for me?" And I gave him his. And he immediately started crying. And it was like, oh, I don't think he meant to cry. He said he went to the bathroom, came back and said that in his 40 plus years as working, nobody's ever acknowledged his birthday. But he also never said anything either. I think he was just emotional. But anyway, this is a finance-based committee meeting. So I think I'm going to be getting whatever I want as far as having my shit approved. And you know what my mama told me? When I told her the story and sent her the video, I didn't send her a video of his reaction. I sent her a video of me of the card that I made. She said, "Oh, now they're not going to like you." And you know what I told her? I don't give a fuck. Do better. If I look like a brown noser, if I look like I'm sucking up, good for me. Good for me. You know how many people that look like me sitting in that room? Nobody. Nobody in that room of 20 people looks like me. Nobody. There's women there. There's 3 women there. I'm including 3. There's 3 women there, 17 men there. Out of 20 people, 19 are white, Caucasian people. 1 black. And out of the 20 people there, 1 of them is the biggest in the room. And even with a 100-pound weight loss, is still the biggest in the room. This girl. This girl right here. You think I give a fuck? If they think I'm a brown noser, I don't care. All of my shit, everything that I present is questioned and asked for backup and da 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 da. And we deal with money. Millions and millions and millions of dollars of money. My shit should be questioned. But so should everybody else's. And it's not. But that's fine. Because there's one thing that I recommend. If you go into business, and I've been told that it was useless because I can't really do a job with it. But my psychology degree, my bachelor's in psychology, and how I know to look for patterns in people's behavior. When they ask me for something, I already have it because I knew you was going to ask me. The minute you saw me, the first conversation you had with me, I already knew how you felt about me. And I've always been right. My boss, she's not the boss that hired me. She got a promotion since she's been there. The minute I talked to her, when we were on the same level, I knew she wasn't like that. And she's never, ever asked me for anything that she didn't ask for anybody else. So I knew she didn't have those biases. And not to put her business out there, but she spent a lot of her professional life living in a Black Caribbean country with her husband. They're from New York. She lived in this country, had money in that country, and the only reason why she came back is because of family issues. She ended up staying here. And then she had children here, so she stayed here. And if she said she didn't have children, she would have went back. So I already knew she was an ally. Okay? But those other ones, I already knew. And the person that they hired to replace her, for the first couple of months, I would even say the first year, I could tell she looked down on me. And I don't flaunt around my degrees at work. I pretty much got a whole bachelor's in silence. A master's in silence. Somebody told me recently, like, did you ever finish your master's? I said, yeah, I finished in 2001. And they're like, what? I said, yeah, it took me less than 2 years. I've been done. And they were like, did you graduate? Yeah, I graduated. And they were like, why you didn't tell us? We didn't get you anything. And da-da-da-da-da. And they went and like ordered a luncheon for me for graduation a few months ago. Like, I'm silent about it. And it's then that I think because she don't got a master's. I do. And it's then I realized, I noticed how she looked at me differently. And now she comes to me for everything, when before it was like my opinions and shit didn't matter because she just saw me as a secretary. And granted, I did start out with that title of secretary, but it has been changed because it was an antiquated title based on government naming of the seat. So there's some nice board members who advocated for the change because it didn't reflect what I was doing or my education, so it's changed. But anyway, I guess she saw all of this happen and just getting to know me, because I could tell she doesn't have much interaction with Black people or Black people of substance. Let's just say that. She doesn't have experience with Black people of substance. Like, she grew up in the area, it's all white. She went to school, white school. She worked at a white firm. She didn't hang out, she's not from there. She didn't go to a school where it was diverse. So she doesn't, it's not like, I don't think she's racist. I don't get racist vibes. I just get how I get if I'm around dogs. I don't really have too much interaction with dogs, so I proceed with caution based on the horror stories I hear about dogs, right? Can y'all see I livelied up a little bit? Is it because of the juice? I think so. So I pepped up a little bit, right? So I look like I was dying. I got some energy now. I'm getting attitudey and shit like that. Maybe it's the juice. I got a sugar spurt, and that's going to crash soon. I'm going to crash. I'm definitely going to crash. So back to friendship. Okay, so I'm a giver, right? Friendships, back to friendships. I'm a giver. Birthdays mean a lot to me. You see how this train just got off the track so fast? Anyway, I never felt used because me doing things for people gave me a sense of purpose. And when people do things for me unprovoked or unasked for, it makes me uncomfortable. But it doesn't make me uncomfortable to fact that, like, don't do it for me. Don't do it. No, keep doing it for me. It makes me uncomfortable because I don't have much experience with it and it's new. Like I said, I was always giving and I didn't really get back, but I didn't feel no kind of way if somebody didn't do something for me because that's not my goal, right? The only thing is I don't have experience with that. So when it does happen, I get uncomfortable. But I'm not saying this to say don't do nothing for me. I'm saying it to say I need more experience. And I can't get that for myself. Other people have to do that for me. And whether they do it or not, I don't know. And honestly, it's okay with me. I'm a giver. I like to throw parties. When I lived alone, I had a party at my house every week. Every week. I love throwing house parties. And I'm supportive. You have a business, I'm going. You, like right now, my husband's co-worker started a business and I buy oils and hair cream and candles and stuff from her. I could buy that stuff way cheaper in the stores, but I'm a supporter. My support has slowed down over the years because of the responsibilities I have with kids. And it's also slowed down for people who make clothing because until I lost the weight, they didn't offer me they didn't have like 4X, 3X or whatever. So, but, I've been to showcases for people. You do a pop-up, I'm there. Before I had the kids and I was a young Thundercat running these streets, I was very supportive. You doing something different, I'm there. Your kids got a baseball game, football game, I'm there. My nephew-in-law used to do shows. We would go. I would drag my mother. Well, not drag. She was happy to go because we love live performance, live music, plays, especially community theater. So we would go. You having a graduation, I'm there. You having a wedding, I'm there. I drove to Rhode Island for my friend Melissa's wedding. I wasn't going to miss that shit. And she came to my baby shower. I support. You having something, you invite me, I will go. If I can't go, I'm sending you money. Okay, one of my coworkers' friends, her and her sister was turning 30. I couldn't go. I Zells money. Okay, I will go. I'm a supporter. I hear a lot of people say that they are full of friends. I'm not at capacity with friends. I am not. I'm always accepting a new friend. Now I'm wary because the last couple of times I tried to make friends and invite people in my life, it didn't end good. The last one, I was accused of doing something that I didn't do. Now, I don't know if she had mental issues. I heard she had mental issues and that she was like a paranoid schizophrenic. Emphasis on the paranoid. She accused me something that I didn't do and she wanted to hear about it. Like, it was something stupid. Like, I invited somebody to her birthday party that she didn't like. And I said, the only person I invited was my husband. You don't like him? You don't even know him. She was like, no, you invited this person here. And I'm like, no, I don't. Come to find out that the person that she thought I invited that was there goes there every Friday. They're a regular there. They were already there. They were there last week and they were there the week after. She had her birthday at a place that this person frequents every Friday or Saturday or something like that. Every weekend they were there. So I'm always open to new friendships. But bad toxic trait I have a very dominant, predominant, strong, cut-off spirit. And that is a safety mechanism. I have an emergency stop lever. And I give you enough rope to hang yourself with. I give people the benefit of the doubt. But when it gets too much, it's not a warning. I will cut you off. I don't ghost because that's disrespectful. Even to the person that's doing the ghosting, it's disrespectful because you need closure too. And so does the other person. I will tell you I'm not fucking with you no more. And I could walk right by you in the street and act like your parents didn't fuck to make you here. That's how dead you would be to me. And I've done it. It's not a good feeling. I'm not saying it as a flex. That's just what I do. And that's probably why my friend circle is what it is, because I cannot differentiate or separate having low expectations in people relationships. When I meet someone and we get close, I have high expectations for you. That doesn't mean you have to do for me. I just have high expectations. And when I'm disappointed, it's like a death to me. And I tell my mother this all the time. When you have no expectations, you can't be disappointed. So I tell her this shit all the time. And I have adopted that in the last few years, but I haven't met anybody new in my life to practice that on. So anyway, to conclude my video, I'm tired. I'm ready to take off this mammy superhero cape. And just projecting the strength and being a strong, independent black woman. I don't need nobody. Da 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 da. I will carry your burden. I will just do and listen and let you use me and absorb all your pain. I'm tired. I'm physically and mentally tired. And in 2023, I'm not doing it anymore. I am going to be a dependent. I am going to be so much of a dependent that you can claim me on your taxes. If I could make under $15,000, or is it $12,000 a year, so you could claim me as a dependent. That's how dependent I'm going to be on people. And actually, because people are backwards, watch how many people come in my life when I change. Do y'all drink it like this? Or like this? You gotta be a sociopath to drink it like this. Y'all drink it like this. Okay? Watch how many people come in my life. And I might even have more authentic relationships because I'm not a fucking mammy anymore. Anyway, check out this video of the little card I made. And don't mind the loud noise. I'm subjected to listening to easy listening all day long. Bye.